Alright guys, so new day, amazing. Let's see if we can have as little glare as possible in the video. That would be fun. I see I have a spot here, but alright, how a diesel engine works. I told you that the last time, but let's start from the beginning. Let's do a walk through the injection pump. I don't really know if you can say like that. It doesn't matter. Let's talk injection pump. We know that the Mercedes diesel engines, the 6.0 from the 616 and forward, that are popular, 616, 617, 601, 602, 603, 604, 605 and 606 all have mechanical injection pumps. There are versions like the 605 and the 606 that has an injection pump called EDC. It's an electronic diesel controlled pump. Yeah, something like that. But, and there's always a fucking but, we know that from the videos. The EDC pump is also a mechanical pump. There's no difference. We talked about this in the video I did about this before, that in English is pretty hard to explain, because if I say that one has a wire, the other one also has a wire. You know, you can have a cable and you can have a cable. It's really, so an electrical cable. One has an electrical cable and one has a mechanical cable, wire. I don't know. One is controlled directly by your foot. The other one is controlled through some electronic impulses to your pump. And that's the difference. But internally they are the same. If you're stuck in the Sahara Desert with your EDC pump and your ECU is dead, or what the fuck ever happens, you can always get home by having your friend in the engine bay pushing the rack with a screwdriver. I mean, it's possible. So it's two mechanical pumps. But what is this pump and how does it work? We have an element size. We can talk about that a little bit. The stock elements in the mechanical pumps are 5.5 millimeters. They are good for around 3 horsepower. So that's shit. And then we have 6 millimeter elements. They are in the turbo engines. Not really, because the 602 and 603 turbo has 5.5 millimeter. It doesn't matter. 6 millimeter elements. They are good for about 94 horsepower. So they're shit. Yeah, we've done 315 horsepower. I don't give a shit. Honestly, 220 on the 606. The sweet spot for the 6 millimeter elements is around 220. You know, after that, injection angle. We'll talk about that in a minute. Then you have the custom upgrade elements. No, you don't really have. You have 7 millimeter stock Bosch elements that are in for transit, for example, and that's how this diesel era started. Some 263 years ago, a guy called Minne in Minne. No, he's called something else, but he lives in Minne, in Finland, and he got a hold of these transit 7 millimeter elements and he put it in a pump, and the videos of black smoking Mercedes diesel engine were spreading around the world. And that's how everything started. 7mm transit elements in Finland. And when Mynä were doing this, they really fast, noticed that these elements are not good for turbo applications. They don't flow enough fuel, and they don't retard ignition. I don't really know how this works with the helix angle and stuff like that, but it has to be correct to work in a turbo engine, and these transit 7mm elements don't. So Mynä started to develop their own elements, and they developed 7mm because that's what they were using. And they got some really, really nice, decent 7mm turbo elements out on the market. And the rest is history. After that, a lot of people have tried to do their own elements, and some have succeeded and some have not. Some have been smart and knowing what they're doing, and some not. Some have cloned and copied and so on. That's life. Today there are two big guys on the market that do proper elements. It's of course Mynä in Finland, because they are the grandfather of all. They have their 7mm and their 8mm elements. The 8mm elements are the best on the market, hands down. But, and there's always a but this is the second but. A Mynä pump is pretty aggressive. It's good for the guys that want power. If you're just gonna drive around town in your 300 horsepower beater, yeah, you might want to choose something else. Then we have Dieselmechan in Sweden. And this is the guy that really took it to the next level. Dieselmechan has been a diesel pump mechanic for, I don't know, since 1860 something. So he knows what he's doing. And he was looking at all this, and the helix angles and everything around the elements. And he was trying everything in his test bench. He's been great to me and my colleagues. We have been in his shop many times and even tried different stuff, and he showed what he'd tried before, like fuel pressure, for example. And it's really interesting when there's someone that can spend hours and hours and hours just doing the R&D. So Dieselmechan developed 7.5mm and 8mm elements. 7.5 just because I think the 7mm is small. 8mm because it's more or less the largest you can have if you want to assemble the pump in a normal manner. There are larger elements out there, but they require some fiddling. So that's the thing. He developed 7.5 and 8mm elements, and not one. He developed many, and he have really got beaten by his own science many times, and that's the thing that separates him from the rest. This is not going to be a video about Dieselmechan, but it's like if you do an element, you design a diesel pump element, and everything is perfect on paper, and you order 10,000 of them. It's not cheap, and you test them, and they are crap. Then you throw them in the bin, you redesign your design, and you order more. And that's what this guy did. So that's why the 80LF and the 80LF4 is the best 8mm elements out there for the normal guy. You get a little bit more fuel with Mynä. That's true. More fuel, more power. Yeah. But the Dieselmechan element is like the normal pump element. 8LF4 in your pump, if you have a low RS pump, will be like the perfect daily. And that's what you want. Me? I want more. But I'm not you. So, that's the thing, elements. And that's the main thing in the diesel pump. You have other factors. You have the camshaft in the pump, and that's what we call low RS, high RS, and 200 RS. The EDC pumps has a little bit different cam profile, but it doesn't matter because you can change that in your DSL1 with a PID configuration, and you can also map the pump to behave in the way you want in a totally different way. A mechanical pump is just mechanical. You know, you put throttle on and that's what you do, nothing else. You can play around with ALDA and so on, but that's for another video. So, low RS pumps, that's what you want, nothing else. Low RS 8mm. Don't put a fucking post out tomorrow that you're gonna buy something else. Deal? So, camshafts, really interesting. But then we have something else, you know, and we talked about this in another video, but it is a problem that you are expecting something that you're not getting in your pump. Because the pump builder, and it doesn't matter who it is, he has a pump specification. And if you don't say anything, he will build to that specification. He's not a fucking mind reader. So when you get your pump and it doesn't behave as you want, it's on you. Because it's so fucking easy. You take a piece of fucking paper and you write what you want and you put it together with a pump in the box when you send it to your pump builder. It's easy as that, you know? Otherwise, they build to their specification. And maybe that's good for you. Maybe that's perfect for you because these guys, they know what they're doing. But maybe you want something else. Maybe you have a plan for your car or your engine that is different from the plan other guys have. But you have to tell. That's the thing. No mind reading, right? So, camshafts in the pump, they are different. Lower RS, gentle. High RS, not so much. 200 RS, it's only for racing. Nothing else. You know, you put out the fucking RS21 or 2 or 3 pumps for 450 euros. I mean, they should be 150 because it's not for you. I mean, it's gonna be one guy in 5,000 that's gonna buy that pump. The low RS pump, on the other hand, they are fucking cheap. And that's the pump that everybody wants. That's strange. Should be the opposite, right? I'm saying this and the pump price gonna go up. Fuck you. But it's just so fucking stupid. Someone has to say it. And I'm not afraid of you, so it's okay. So, pumps. Really interesting. We have ALDA, we have camshaft profile, we have the regulator that is determining how much you can rev and so on, and you know, we pump elements, and it's really, really interesting. And on the other side of the pump, we have the injectors, and the injectors is a thing of their own. It's also very interesting what happens when you increase your pop pressure, and how stupid people recommend low pop pressure. Like, you can run original. We always run original. Yeah, because you haven't tried anything else. And if you have tried anything else, you have not logged what's happening. I mean, it's still a reason that I run 170 bars and some wankers recommend 135 stock pop pressure. But I mean, if 135 is okay, just run NA injectors 115 bars. What can happen, right? Just send it, it's okay. Or do your fucking R&D, you fucking wanker. So, we're approaching 16 minutes and I have said nothing of importance. But maybe this will make you watch the first fucking video. Alright? I have a plane to catch. So I've been to, late tonight is gonna be the 7th country in 5 days. 7 countries in 5 fucking days. It's tough to be amazing. See you later.